Hi guys, welcome to Links YouTube channel. My name is Ram Mishra and I am your online instructor. So what's in this video? In this video we will talk about Kubernetes namespace. But before start the lab session, we need to understand few points, which is what is Kubernetes namespace and their use cases. As per the documentation, Kubernetes documentation, namespace is a logical separator of cluster resources. Namespace allow administrator to organize, group, structure and allocate resources and Kubernetes objects to ensure a smooth cluster operation. One Kubernetes cluster can hold multiple namespace and all namespace are logically isolated from the each other. So points is why we use Kubernetes namespace. There are many use cases of Kubernetes namespace, including like allowing teams or project to exist in their own virtual cluster without fearing of impacting each other works. Second would be enhance role-based access control (RBAC) by limiting users and process to certain namespaces. Or one more like enabling the dividing of cluster resources between multiple teams and users via resource quota. And one more like providing an easy method of separating development, testing and deployment of containerizations application, enabling the entire life cycle to take place on the same cluster. So these are the points are mentioned here. We can read it from there. So in this demo, what we are going to do, we will see how we can work with the namespace in Kubernetes cluster, right? So let's begin the lab session. So here I am on my Linux virtual machine. So currently I'm working on single Linux machine where I have already installed Minikube single node Kubernetes cluster. Let me show you the OS release version of this machine and then Minikube status. So if I go back K8S release, here you can see it's a 9.3, and if I go with Minikube status, so yeah, it's running condition, right? So before we moving to the next, we need to verify the status of cluster first, right? To check the node of the availability, we can run the command kubectl get nodes. Okay, so you can see Minikube node is in ready condition. Once you have node available in your cluster, you are ready to create your pod. So we will check the list of the pod also. In the default namespace, the command is kubectl get pods. No resource found in the default namespace. Since this is will be our first pod on this cluster, you will not see any pod in the default namespace. So now move to the first tab, which is launch our custom namespace, right, in Kubernetes cluster. But before going to launch our own custom namespace, we need to check the default Kubernetes namespace by running kubectl get namespace ns command. So here you can see Kubernetes cluster by default already has 4 namespaces. Everyone have their its own importance. Let me go one by one. First of all, we talk about the kube system. Kube system is the namespace for object created by the Kubernetes system. We should avoid putting anything personal in that namespace. It would contain pods like kube DNS, kube proxy, kube API and other controllers. Kube public use for the public resources and readable by all users, including those not authenticated. This namespace is mostly reserved for cluster use, not recommended for other Kubernetes use services. It contains the config map that has a cluster information, right? Next one is kube node lease, right? So kube node lease is the namespace hold the heartbeat of the nodes, and each node is associated to lease object in the namespace. Node lease allow the kubelet to send heartbeats so that the control plane can detect node failure. It determines node availability. And the last one is the default one, right? And as its name says that this is the namespace that is referenced by default for every Kubernetes command and where every Kubernetes resources is located by default until new namespace are created. The entire cluster reside in the default one. So if you want to check the resources under any namespace like kube system, then we can follow this command like kube system get all -n kube system. Okay, so here you can see the list of all resources that is associated with kube system namespace. So this is about default namespace. Now move to create our own namespace. Creating namespace is very pretty straightforward if you know the basic of pod and services and deployment. You can create the namespace in the following 2 ways. First one is YAML file. Second is without YAML file, or we can say kubectl command line tool. The easiest way to create a Kubernetes namespace is via kubectl command line tool, but I will show you both method one by one. Let's go with the first method, which is through YAML file. So let me move to my Kubernetes dedicated directory, and currently you can see I don't have any file here. So let me make a file, vim name space dot yaml, right? The code could be based on JSON or YAML format. Namespace creation code is available on Kubernetes documentation. You can grab it from there. Let me show you where it is. So I'm back on the documentation, and if I scroll down at the last, here you can see creating a new space and deleting a namespace. So click on the create a new namespace, and here you will find out the code, right? So you can copy the code from here. I have already copied the code and modify as per my scenario. Let me go back on my notepad and copy from there and paste it here. So here's the code. I'll copy. Let's try to copy and paste, save and quit, and let me try to explain. So here you can see kind of the key that has value namespace, right? So this is because we are creating a namespace. If we are creating a pod, we would define the value as pod. We are assigning the name of the namespace as first namespace, but you can name it based on the purpose of your namespace. My file is ready. Let me deploy this file using kubectl apply command. So I'll go with the kubectl apply -f and the namespace.yaml. Perfect, it's created. Let's view your namespace with the following command again, that is kubectl get ns command. Okay, here you can see first namespace is active 8 seconds ago. So here you can see my custom first namespace is ready, right? If you want to more details regarding your namespace, then we can use kubectl describe command. So kubectl describe ns and namespace first name space. So here you can see this will display the information about your name of your namespace, labels, annotation, status, quota limits, and many more, right? Now move to the second method, which is kubectl command line tool. Using this method, you can simply use the command to directly create a namespace without using a YAML file. Command is kubectl create namespace, and let's go with second namespace. Okay, created. The only thing you need to ensure is that the name of the namespace is a valid name. You can further create pods within your namespace to divide the cluster, assign the resources to them, and delete them when they are no longer required. So let's view one more time with the namespace. Following command kubectl get ns. Here it is. Here both namespace is ready. This is how we can launch our custom own namespace, the first namespace and second namespace, right? Now move to the next part, which is how we can explicitly create our resources in the specify namespace. So there are two ways to do this. First one is -- namespace flag while creating the resources. Second one is specify a namespace in the YAML specification of the resources. Let me go one by one. So start with the first method, which is -namespace flag. So for that one, let me create a simple pod file, and pod creation code is also available on Kubernetes documentation. Let me copy code from my notepad. So here is my code. vim first pod.yaml. YAML. Now I'm going to launch a new pod here having name first pod, and container name is nginx container with nginx image, and container name is nginx with nginx image, and that will be run on the default container port number 80. So let's deploy this pod file in my first namespace using the following command. The command is kubectl apply -f first pod.yaml -name space is equal to your namespace name. In my case, this is first name space. Perfect. Press enter. Okay, pod created. So it's created. Let's check the pod in the first namespace using the following command: kubectl get ns, or you can go with kubectl get pod -n first name space. Yep, continue creating. See, it's going to be in creating condition. So if we check in the default namespace, we will not get any pod running over there because it's deployed on my custom namespace, that is first namespace, right? So let's see it one more time. If I go with the default one, let's see what happened. See, no resource found in the default namespace, but if I go in the first namespace, see, it is going, it's creating, right? So this is the first method. Let's go to the second method, which is specified a namespace in the YAML specification of the resources, right? So that the pod will be automatically launched in the given namespace. So for that one, let me make another second pod file with the namespace metadata. So I'll go with second pod.yaml. Let me copy the code one more time from my notepad. Here it is. Okay, save. Perfect. So now here I'm going to launch another pod having name second pod, and container name is Apache container, image is httpd, and here you can see I have add namespace. Which namespace? Second namespace, right? That's important, right? So let's deploy this file by normal kubectl apply command without namespace flag. So here I am telling this Kubernetes that hey, try to launch this container inside default one second namespace. So let's go with that one. I run the command kubectl apply -f second pod.yaml. This time I'm not using -- namespace flag, right? See what happened? Pod second pod created successfully. So let's check the pod in the second namespace. The same command -f, let it be go with second one, second namespace. See, again it's in creating condition, right? So even we can check all the pod condition in all namespace using the command called kubectl get pod -all namespaces space, right? So here you can see first pod, it's in running condition, which is in first namespace. Second pod is in on second namespace. Currently it is in creating condition, right? So this is how we can see that it's running on the default different namespaces. Important point we need to remember here: if your YAML configuration specification specify one namespace, but the apply command specify another namespace, the command will fail, right? So that is an important thing we need to understand. See, both are in running condition, running and running. Now move to the last part, how to delete the Kubernetes namespace. If you want to remove the namespace, we can use kubectl delete namespace command. So let me go kubectl delete namespace. I'll go with the first name space namespace, and let me go with the second one. Let it be complete first. Okay, let me go with second namespace. So point to be remembered is that the deletion of namespace is the final act. Everything is in the namespace will be deleted, including all services, running pods and artifacts. Before performing this action, ensure that everything in the namespace has been deleted, right? So both namespaces successfully deleted. Even we can verify all pod one more time by using kubectl get pod all namespace. See, namespace first, second, including pod, all gone, right? So here we are in the final we are in the conclusion that the namespace in the Kubernetes are circular object for dividing and managing Kubernetes cluster. Namespace in Kubernetes enables us to logically separate it and assign resources to individual user, teams and application. So guys, that's all about namespace and its demonstration. Hopefully you enjoyed and learned new things. Soon I will come up with another new interesting topic. Till then, keep practicing. If you feel something I have missed or you wanted to know more something else, please reach out through my social media links, which is mentioned in the description. If you like this video, please do not forget to like, share and subscribe my channel and press the bell icon button for the latest update. Thanks for watching. Stay safe and goodbye.